Hello, my stamping friends. It's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Alberta, Canada. And welcome today to my Mystery Monday video for Monday, the 18th of August, officially halfway into the month of August. Not ready for fall yet, but let's just hope we still get some great weather. So today we are going to take a look at this Coneflower Celebrations bundle. And if you're looking for it, it's actually in our annual catalog. So it is right here on page 82, right here at the bottom, and you have some great samples up here as well. So really cute little greetings in there, and a really big flower image, if you like big flower images. This is the stamp set. I'm just going to show you the actual sizes here and the dies. So here, this is the large flower that we're going to be using in our project. And you've also got a butterfly, some leaves, stamps, greetings, and these wonderful, wonderful dies. So the card we're going to make is this one. We're going to switch up the colors a little bit just to, show you a little bit different color scheme that you can do. You can use any colors with this, really. I think coneflowers probably come in a lot of different colors. I haven't actually Googled it, but I'm just guessing. So for this one, we're using Calypso Coral. And a little twist is when you open it up, it says, "It's your day." So that's kind of fun. And then inside, you could, of course, just stamp another greeting, or you could do some more stamping, whatever you like. Okay, so we, like I said, are going to switch this color palette up, and we are going to use Petunia Pop. I thought would be kind of fun. So we're starting with our base, our card base, which is our basic white, our usual 8.5 by 5.5, and I will post all these measurements on the post, and I'll also put this video on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out later. Okay, so this is our base, and then we are going to add, instead of Calypso Coral, we're going to add a piece of Petunia Pop as a layer, just to bring out that color a little bit more. Okay, so that will be a layer. And of course, this is one of our in colors. And right now we have a fantastic in color sale going on for the month of August on all of our in color products. And that includes ribbons, cardstock, markers, inks. If there's any designer paper that has any of the in colors, that's also on sale. It's 15% off. So a great time to stock up on any that you think you might like to have in your stash. And this is another piece of basic white, and I ran it through the exposed brick embossing folder just to add a little bit of texture here. You could use any embossing folder that you wanted. Or, yeah, any embossing folder. We have so many to choose from, right? They would all look really cool. So we're going to do that. Okay, then we are going to, maybe I'll just show you how we do our flower. So what I did was, on the Calypso Coral, I stamped this large flower image, also in Calypso Coral, so tone on tone. I stamped it towards the bottom of a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock. And then I took this large die from the dies. And what you're going to do is you're going to line it up. Now, you have to be careful because this side matches, but I believe this side does not. Okay, so just make sure that you're lining up the right edge on your flower there, and you're going to run it through your emboss machine, okay, just like this. And when it comes out, it's going to come out like this. So you have a little score line right here in the middle, which you can fold over So I've done that on the petunia pop. So this is what it looks like in that color. So you have the little score line here, and you can fold that down to make your flower. Okay, you can use your little bone folder to just get your crease there. And that is how we are going to make our flower. Now there is another stamp, or a die, I'm sorry, this die, if you wanted to add extra layers of petals, okay? There's no stamped image, like it doesn't line up with this large flower. It's just a standalone die, but you could cut out another layer just out of the same cardstock if you wanted your flower to have a couple of more layers, okay? So what we're going to do here first is stamp our little greeting inside. So we're going to use the It's Your Day. There's also one, You Made My Day, Happy Belated Birthday, but you could always cover up the belated if you just wanted Happy Birthday. Thank you, celebrating you. I'm sorry I missed your special day. Let's extend the celebration. And I love that I've known you for so many birthdays. I think that's really special if you've got a very special longtime friend. That's a really nice greeting there. Okay, so we're going to stamp the It's Your Day in our black memento. I'll just ink that up. And then we're going to stamp it on the inside here. Okay, so just center it. Hopefully it's not crooked there. So It's Your Day. So that's kind of a neat little surprise when they open up your card. Okay, so this, now we're going to assemble our flower. Okay, so first we're going to put on our stem and our leaves. So these were cut out of Granny Apple Green. You could use whatever green you wanted. Now on the back of the stem, I did put an adhesive sheet. Okay, and just to let you know, there's also a stamp for your stem that will show a couple of these ridges. And I just completely forgot about this when I did mine. So I just cut mine out with a die, which is also fine. But if you wanted to add a little bit of a stamped image on your stem, that's the stamp you would use, and then cut it out. And then we have these overlays, which it looks like I cut out of old olive, okay? And those are also on an adhesive sheet, just because it's a little bit easier. Okay, so what you might want to do first is position your stem and then decide where your flower is going, because like I said, it's a really large image. So if you wanted it this way, if you wanted it straight, you could always trim off your stem, or you could, you know, do it the other way as well. So I think we'll just go with this way. And let me see if I put that kind of towards the corner and this sort of, I think I'm going to turn it a bit. Or maybe, let's see, I just kind of want this flower sort of centered there in the corner, kind of like this. Something like that, I think. So then my stem would have to go kind of maybe like this, not that kind of an angle, or this kind of, it all depends. There's no right or wrong. I'm just being picky here today. So let's maybe put it there, and we'll see how this goes. It probably won't line up exactly where I want it, but you could also maybe just add your stem first to the back of your flower, and then it would be a lot easier to position. Okay, so let's do it maybe here, and just give that a press, and then my flower should be okay kind of here. I kind of want it to look a little centered though, so maybe kind of like that. And I'm just going to put this on with regular adhesive. For some reason, I decided not to go with dimensionals, and you all know how much I love dimensionals, but not on this one. I think because this flower is so big as is, I'm just going to leave it. Okay, let's see. May not be quite centered, but it'll work. Okay, so there's that. Oh, it's your birthday, or it's your day. Cool. Okay, So let's put these overlays on these leaves. You could use a darker mossy meadow overlay if you wanted more of a contrast, or just a different, you know, green. We've got a few greens to choose from, so you could certainly play around with color for your leaves. So you're just going to lay that on top of your base. So again, this is Old Olive on top of Granny Apple Green. I guess you could reverse it too. Have Granny Apple Green on the as your overlay and Old Olive as your base. That would work. There's just so many possibilities, right, to switch things up. And sometimes until you try playing around, you're not really sure, you know, of the possibilities. You might discover something that you really, really like. Okay, so let's put this on the second one here. Try to line that up. And these adhesive sheets are just so awesome. I just love them. Okay, so let's add this leaf. I'm just going to put regular adhesive on here as well. So I'm going to put it on top of the stem, like so, and then this one we'll add on the other side. Maybe we'll have the leaf going the other direction. So I'm just going to pop it on top of each other, and then I'm going to add some ribbon. So on this one, I use some twine, and it is from the Pack Your Bags Twine 3-pack. This is on sale right now as part of that in-color sale at 15% off. So it has Calypso Coral. I think this is Azure Afternoon and Shy Shamrock, possibly. Really fun colors, nice bright colors. So that's an option. And because this was the Calypso Coral, that's why I went with the twine. This one, I still had a spool of this Petunia Pop. What is this? Bordered ribbon. It's 3/8, but it has a little bit of a stitching on each side. This is on the last chance list, okay? So it is, I believe, also on sale. So you can look for that. And so I just tied a bow out of that because I kind of wanted it to match. I might just trim this edge off here a teeny bit. It always seems I trim one end and then I end up trimming the other end, and then I go back to the other end. And then before you know it, my bow is like, my tails are super short and I have to almost start over. It's crazy. Okay, just my bow dilemmas. Let's see, we're going to add this just with some glue dots, and we're going to put that right where these leaves kind of go on top of each other, like so. So like you could definitely pull this down a bit. And then let's, oh my gosh, I just frayed this. That's not very good. See, I'm going shorter. Oh my gosh, okay. There we go. Not quite what I was planning, but you get the idea. You could certainly use something else if you wanted, even a different, you know, a white baker's twine, or you can always dye the baker's twine too with our inks, right? You could color it with a sponge or a blending brush. Just ink up the ink and just go over the white twine, and you'll have Petunia Pop twine. That would have been a smart option too. Okay, and last we're going to add some bling, and these are unfortunately retired, but they're the 24-26 in color shimmer gems, and they just happen to have Petunia Pop in them. And I actually used them on this card too. This is probably the peach, but I thought that's the closest I'm going to get to the coral, so I used them on that sample as well, if you're wondering where those came from. All right, so let's add a couple of Petunia Pop gems and give it a little bit of a sparkle. You can add as many as you wanted, okay? And, oh, I forgot to add my espresso center here. So this comes out really detailed as well. Now, you don't have to put this on. I actually saw someone make a card with this, and instead of putting the center, they just added some wink of Stella here to give it a bit of a sheen. Or you could use different color centers if you wanted a yellow, or, you know, depending on what color cardstock you're using, you could make it more of a fallish card too. But we'll just do this in the brown just so you get a look at the different choices. And this again is the early espresso, and this actually matches pretty much exact on top of this. So there we go. And there you go, your two different color variations of the Coneflower Celebrations bundle. So I hope you'll give that a try. It makes for some really kind of fun cards. And you don't have to do the layering. Like I said, you could just, you know, use the petals and layer them up a little bit too if you wanted something a little bit different. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that project, and we will see you again next time. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.